How about making an Easter door ring to hang up inside or on your front door? You'll need a wire frame as your base, some pliable twigs and a whole bunch of pipe cleaners. I'm Julie from Julie Davis Flower Workshops and Flower Start, the online flower arranging classes. Let's get started. I've decided to make an Easter ring, so I've got myself this circle of metal, which is going to be my frame for the ring, and then a variety of spring branches. So there's some pussy willow in there and also silver birch. Now this ring here is going to be absolutely perfect, and I'll tell you where I got it from. You know, sometimes you see hubcaps that have fallen off cars on the side of the road. Well, sometimes you find this metal ring as well, which I guess must be the catch that holds the hubcap in place. And they're really good size for making door wreaths out of. If you haven't got one of these, and it's quite unlikely that you'll be able to find one, what you could use is one of the triangular coat hangers from the dry cleaners. And if you hold it by the hook and then hold the other bit like as if you're doing a bow and arrow, you can straighten it out and it will become a square, and then you need to go through and just sort of manipulate it out, and you'll end up with a circle with a hook on the top, so you can use that as well. And then also I've got some pipe cleaners, because that's what I'm going to attach my twigs to my ring with, and I can't quite decide whether to go for pink because it's springtime and it'll show up, or whether to go brown because then it'll blend into the background with the rest of the twigs. So the first thing you need to make sure is just that you've got some twigs that are reasonably pliable, so you can shape them around the circle frame. And what I'm going to do is to take one of the pipe cleaners and wrap that around the frame, starting about halfway through, wrapping it around twice and giving it a twist just so it holds in place. And then with the branches, I'm going to take the bendy end of the branch and secure it through that tie with the pipe cleaner, and again just a couple of times round, and then come back and secure in the thicker end and go once, twice and round, and then twist it there like a sandwich bag tie and work my way around the ring like that. So again, making sure everything's pliable, and with the soft pliable ends there, putting that over the woody end of the previous placement. And what I can do is reuse the end of that pipe cleaner to hold that stick in place. So that's tightened there, so it's held the base of one stick and the pliable ends of the other, and it's all spinning out at the moment. But when you've got a few more twigs in, you can tie them down and make it as a compactor ring as you want. Here again, starting about halfway down, wrapping it over, putting it nice and secure and giving it a twist. And the floppy ends again. Actually, I'm going to attach another pipe cleaner there because there's a bit of a gap between. It's not quite as supple, that one. It's going a bit, not following the shape of the ring. So another tie in there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fixings so far. And again, that's nice and pliable. So put that in where I put the base of the last twig and bend that round, and I've come then back to the beginning and I can slide that other twig in under the first fixing. So I've got 5 pipe cleaners that are holding that rough shape in place. And then what you do then, I think it's a bit loose just here, so I shall add in another pipe cleaner. Just keep going round and round, adding in as many twigs as you want to. So that is quite sparse to start with, but the more I add in, the denser and more robust the coverage will be. And all I'm making sure is I've always got the twigs going in the same direction, so it feels quite intuitive that you want to be putting the flexible bits, the twig in first, and then securing the woody bits at the end. So bunching this together, and again keeping the pipe cleaner the whole length of the pipe cleaner, so I can just keep adding and adding to it, bending round, and then securing it in at the next pipe cleaner. And if you feel you need more pipe cleaners to secure everything, just add in more pipe cleaners. So again, it's starting to look a bit wayward there, but I might just work through with that, keep it where it is. Nice pliable stick again. Fasten that down, and I can catch it in on this pipe cleaner and the next one as well. If you had really long lengths of twig, you could just go all the way around, but these bits, although they were pliable, I couldn't get the length that I really wanted, so I've cut them down. They're probably about 40 or 50 centimetres long. But if you were making this with a sort of grapevine, you could fasten it round into one continuous loop. So fixing in the top peak, the really pliable piece at the end, bending it round, catching it under the next pipe cleaner. And once it's become more stable and substantial, you could start weaving in the twigs and not having to bind them into the pipe cleaner every time. And if you do feel it's looking a bit loose in various places, we'll go ahead and just add in an extra pipe cleaner. So I'm just bundling it all together. Twist it round and bundle it through. And these stiffer bits, you can try and weave them in and out. And if they just are sticking out too far, take your secateurs and cut those away. So I'm going to swap now and bring in some of the pussy willows as a contrast, slightly yellower, greener stem. And again, I might see now whether I can wind those in and out. So I'm using the stiffest bit to sort of like a needle, as if I'm sewing, and winding it in and out of the frame. Catching it in with the pipe cleaner and bending those bits around. So all the time going the same way round, like a continuous circle. So it's my fine pieces are up here. And then my woodiest stem was down here, so I lay over the fine pieces at this end. They'll go over that woody stem, hide that. Probably got enough to come round and bind those twigs into that fixing here, this pipe cleaner here. And then this last bit again, I could try and threading it through, just to secure it in. That doesn't actually need to be bound in. And the same thing here. Fine twiggy bits can get bound onto the circle. And the wooden bit comes through at the end there. That's part way through, so I'll stop the video now and carry on working, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like in a moment. So I've added in some more sticks and it's starting to look really substantial now, and I thought I'd come back with the last of my silver birch twigs just to add in a bit of contrast to the other twigs and the pussy willow that's in there. These are quite big branches, so I'll cut them down a little bit just to make them more manageable, but attaching them in the same way. So I've got the flimsy edges here, and I'll bundle those together and attach it with the pipe cleaner. So I've still just got the one length of pipe cleaner that's managed to hold everything, and then with the sticky end, there's a bit of sewing needle, I can start to thread that in and out and weave it round. And then that wooden bit finished there, so I come back with the next lot of supple bits of the twig and attach those to cover that sticky bit at the end, nice and securely, and then I can weave through with the twiggy end. And again, the twiggy end's finished there, so come back again. Let's cut this down to make it a bit more manageable. So twiggy end finished here, so fasten that in with the pipe cleaner, weave that around, back in, and then come back and lay over with the next bit of silver birch, fastening in the finer ends first, and then securing. It's really woody at that end, so I think I might cut off those really woody pieces and feed those into the door ring. Just make sure everything is reasonably secure. And the way of doing that is just to give it a shake, and if you think anything's falling out of it, out of the door ring, or looking a bit wayward and you want to sort of contain it a bit more so it doesn't have so many twigs springing out from the edges, you can use the rest of the pipe cleaners just to pull everything together. So that's the first stage, and then you could go ahead and decorate that if you wanted, or keep it really natural and just hang it on the wall or on your front door, just like that. So here's my finished door wreath, and in fact I'm going to hang mine up on my wall inside the house. And you can keep on adding as much as you like. So if you've got decorative Easter eggs, you can put them in there, or just keep it really bare and natural. So I do hope you've enjoyed that. And if you have, please give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what kind of videos you'd like me to film in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.